Okay. Good morning. Thank you guys for all being here. I was in Okoboji over the weekend with our good friends, and it was a perfect weekend for that, except for this cold front hit there on Sunday instead of today. So it was so nice. It was 92 on Saturday and it was perfect. I've never been warm enough to be in that cold water and it was perfect. And then Sunday we just tooled around and, saw all the actually saw all the damage because they had 20 inches of rain in 1 week and the last day 7 inches. And so a lot of people's yards, if they were up high, slid down and into the water. Yeah. So we tooled around and checked out all the damage. And Margaret and Jeff, our good friends, actually had the sewer back up into their basement. Yeah. So yeah, it was earlier this summer. It's been, I think, all of June and July were pretty much nobody was going there because it was such a mess. So yeah, it was devastating for some businesses. Other businesses, like the people that take the boats in and out, they made a killing because all the boats had to come out because the docks were underwater and all that. Things are more expensive there than they are in Cedar Rapids. I discovered, yeah, it's just there's so much wealth up there. It's unbelievable, but so much fun. So, well, let's get started. So, last week we talked about these malas that in yogic philosophy kind of shroud you and make you feel unworthy, is the Anava mala we talked about last week. And the one that I wanted to talk about this week is Mayiya Mala. And Mayiya Mala means you feel different than everybody else and not connected. So when you feel different, you feel like, oh, I shouldn't show who I really am. I should just go inside and feel shrouded. And so to get rid of that, you realize that you are perfect inside. And if you reconnect with your soul, then you feel connected, perhaps something greater or to other people or even to nature, and you can feel better. So the malas are, everyone has them at certain times in their life, but we all, Mala, malas. Yeah. And Mayiya Mala is Miyaya, Mayiya, something like that. Let me see. Yeah. Mayiyya, Mayiya Mala. So that's when you feel different. And actually, if you connect to your soul and realize, oh, I am different, I was made perfectly by something greater, and I'm here on purpose, and I'm connected to everything, and I have a purpose here, then it helps you feel better. So think about that and close your eyes. Just really focus in on your breath. Feel it move in around your heart space. Sometimes we forget who we are. We're children of God. So we are perfect from the moment we're created. And even though we are different than everyone else, we are special. Please bring hands to heart center. And when we do remember who we are inside, much easier to notice the beauty and the grace that's all around us, within us, and within others. Please lower your hands, open your eyes. And we're gonna do some side stretching today. I don't know, I always get so tight in my side. So just bring your right hand off to the side and then sweep your left hand up and get really tall in your spine, and then kind of arc towards your hand, your right hand. Stretch out the side body and breathe. Good. And then come on up. Bring the left hand over, sweep the right arm up, and then slowly arc. Just feel a nice stretch in the side. And then bring both arms up, that tall feeling, and then maybe stretch forward, get the sits bones back. Nice long spine. And then come on back up. We got giggling going on up there. And come on to all fours. So use your little knee patties. And then just start to move in a big figure 8. Getting as wild as you need to, and especially notice your side body as you move through this. Making a big figure 8. And then switch directions. And then pause and just work through some cow and cat. And if you feel like stretching side to side in either pose, just feeling the side body feels really nice to me. Yeah, if you close your eyes, you feel a little more. You can really sense when your body is saying, oh, that feels good. And then keeping your toes curled under. This may or may not be possible. Walk your hands back and just see if you can sit on your heels. Yeah. Good. Good. Perfect. Yeah. And then if you're comfortable here, you can stretch your arms up and then bend the elbows, lift your heart a little bit, and then round and bring the forearms closed. And one more time, lift the heart, bring the forearms closed, and then Stretch back out to all fours. And this is kind of weird. You're just going to swivel your right foot to the right. Make sure your right hand's in front of your shoulder a little bit. Stretch your left foot long and ground it down and bring your left hand to your hip. Yeah, there you go. That's it. And think, it's going to stretch long through my spine. Maybe extend my arm. Like a side plank. Good. And then come on down. Hands are slightly in front of the shoulders. Switch to the other side. So swivel the left foot, then the right foot. Variation of side plank. Open up. And then come on back down. Let's go to the first side again. So swivel the right foot, extend the left leg, stretch the arm up. And then this time, once you feel stable and long shoulder blades on the back, stretch your arm by your ear, palm facing down. Yeah. And then slightly press on your left foot. See if you can lift your hips a little higher. So it feels like you're arcing toward the floor somewhat. Good. And come on down. Take a child's pose in between sides. Couple breaths. And then come on back up to all fours. Let's do that on the other side. So swivel the left foot, extend the right leg long. Stretch the arm up when you feel stable, and then stretch the arm by the ear, palm facing down. And then if that still feels good and you want more stretch, press into your right foot. See if you can lift the hips a little higher and arc towards the floor. And breathe. It's so much work you can't breathe. It's not worth it. Good. And then come on down. And hands spread wide, curl the toes, lift the hips up and back to a downward facing dog. Just breathe. Maybe walk your dog out a little bit. Feel the shoulders in the sockets, but then broaden the clavicles. Press into the fingertips. Good. And then come forward to a plank pose. Notice that nice long plank. And then you can either lower your knees to lower to the ground or lower all the way to the floor. Good. And then bring your forehead to the floor and just bring the fingertips slightly to the back of your head. I think long side body, head of the arm bones back, broaden the clavicles. And then lift your head and shoulders up a little bit. You're going to feel a lot of work. Toes are stretched long. Breathe and relax down. Whew. Hands under forehead. Couple breaths. And then slide your hands back by your chest. And then inhale, come up to cobra pose. Just getting that feeling that you just had when you did all that work. Hey, Connor, could you go up and close that door upstairs? Okay, buddy. Okay, thank you. Curl the toes. Push all the way up and back to a downward facing dog. And then one hand width at a time. You're gonna have to bend your knees a lot to get there. Walk your hands back to your feet. And just come into a forward fold and just kind of take a moment to feel all four corners of your feet. Maybe even sway forward and back. Don't lift anything, just feel when you have connection on all four corners. The stretch in each part of your leg. And then try side to side a little bit. This way. And then slowly roll up to standing, one vertebrae at a time. And then with your feet hip distance apart and still really connected, stretch your arms up. And grab your left wrist with your right hand. And just a little lengthening. I want you to feel long in both sides and in your spine, and then arc to your right. And in this variation, just let your hips sway to the left a little bit. You'll feel a little more stretch. Feel lots of weight in your left foot. Good. Come back to center and switch. Just go slow, really feel it out. Good. Come on back to center. And bring your hands down. Now this is gonna feel a little weird, but you're gonna step your right foot behind your left. And then get to a spot where you feel balanced. And again, feel long and stretch your arms up. Good. Grab your left wrist with your right hand, lengthen, and arc again. Just go slow. Sometimes balance in this position is a little harder. Still feel most of the weight in that left foot. Your right foot helps you balance, but you're still making that big arc. Good. Come on back up. Release your arms and we'll switch. So wait till you feel balanced. Your feet may be further apart than mine or closer. I don't know. And we'll try it again. Stretch up your right wrist and just go slow and arc. Feel that big stretch in the side body. And come on back up and unwind. And this time, fold forward. Take a moment. And breathe. And slowly walk the hands back out to a downward facing dog. And then lower your knees. I'm going to have you grab your blocks and bring them under your hands. Good. And then come on back up to downward dog on the blocks. And extend your right leg. Just get that really good feeling of length. Good. And then bring your knee forward and step it up through to the right side of the block, or to the inside of the block is what I meant to say, for a deep lunge. Just lift and lower your heel a few times, just stretching out your calf and your Achilles. Don't get too aggressive here. Good. And then lower your back knee and slide your hips back. You can use the blocks here if you want. You just walk the blocks with you as you straighten the right leg for a runner's lunge. Now, make sure your knee, your heel, and your sits bone are lined up on both sides. Drawing the right leg into the socket. Yeah. Maybe folding deeper if you want it for your hamstrings. Keeping the hips and the shoulders square to the front. And then slowly come back up. Hands on the blocks. And then hug to the midline so that you feel stable. Hips stay square, shoulders stay square. Maybe bring your hands to your front knee and stretch up to Anjaneyasana. And then grab your left wrist with your right hand. Keep that length and maybe arc to your right. Keep that right hip crease back so you feel, even though you're arcing the right side of your body, you still keep it long, right? Good. Stretch back up and touch down. Lift the back knee and step back. Downward facing. I always have to keep a baby bend in my right knee as I extend the left. So I can keep my hips square to the floor. Keep my armpits lifted, my clavicles broadening. Feel that length. And then step it to the inside of the block. Deep lunge. Good job. And just appreciate that stretch for a moment. Maybe lifting and lowering the heel. Left hip crease stays back. Lower the back knee when you're ready. And stretch back into that runner's lunge position. Keeping heel and sits bone and knee aligned. The longer you can make your spine, the more stretch you'll feel. You can stretch the toes if that feels good, or even fold deeper. You just decide what you're needing today. And then bending back into the front knee. Slowly make your way up and Anjaneyasana, keeping the hips square, the shoulders square, the spine nice and long on both sides. And grab your right wrist with your left hand and just very slowly arc. You're not moving your hips this time. You're keeping everything aligned towards the front of the room. Just feel a nice stretch. I have to work at keeping my left hip crease back. It feels safe. Good. Stretch back up. And touch down. Good. Step back, downward facing dog. So you have to lift your back knee to do that. And then step your feet to the middle of your mat. And just, we're not going to use the blocks for a minute because you're going to come down to your knees. You're going to want your knee cups, and I want you to face each other on your knees. You guys, you at home, you might want your go on your mat the long way. Okay, and then just bring your right foot out to the side. You guys will be opposite each other, but that'll make it easier for me. And then just kind of, if you need blocks here, please feel free. And just kind of feel the inner thigh stretch. And then maybe you can come up. Is that okay on your knee? Okay. I want you to feel weight in this foot. If your kneecap and toes point the right same direction, you're probably good. And sweep your left arm up. That's it. Right hand down. And maybe you're going to arc a little bit towards that outstretched leg. A big stretch. Palm faces down. Good. And slowly make your way back up. Now bring the left hand down to the side. Turn the toes up on that outstretched leg and just stretch up. Open your heart. And then come on back down and bring that leg in, and we'll switch sides. And the opposite one. You can just kind of feel it out. So the foot and the knee are in the same plane. Just kind of move forward and back. You'll feel lots of different ligaments and muscles stretching. Your left or your right hip is right above your left knee. And then come on up. Extend your right arm. Left arm down the leg. And just arc. Let's see where it takes you. There. Rib cage is secure so that you have a nice long spine. This is called gate pose. Good. And then come on back up, bring the right hand to the mat, turn the left toes up, and stretch up. Just open your heart. And breathe. And then come on down. And make your way up to standing like this. And take a wide stance with your legs. And when I say wide, if you brought your arms out, your wrists are approximately above your ankles. I have really long arms. Good. Now let your arms relax. Turn just your right foot towards one wall. Yeah. So your front, your back, good. And then bend into the front knee. Make sure it tracks straight. And just bring your right elbow on your knee and your left hand to your hip. I want you to feel that back foot really engaged and holding you. And then turn your belly and chest inward and extend your arm. Parsvakonasana. And then see what it feels like if you stretch your arm by your ear, palm facing down again. And then you slightly arc towards the floor. It's pretty easy, right? Because we've been doing all those side stretches. Good. And come on back up. Warrior two again. And straighten the front leg. Let your arms relax for a moment as you switch the orientation of your feet. Bend into the front knee. Add the arms. You still feel long in your side body. It just feels so much better when you're able to stay long there in the poses and feel connected in your spine. And then left elbow to the knee, right arm up or to your hips so you can turn inward a little more. Arm by the ear. Maybe arc towards the floor a little bit. If you're feeling stable, feel that back foot support you. Beautiful. Good. Stretch up, come back up, warrior two. Just gaze out over your left hand. And then this time straighten the front leg. Turn the left foot in towards the middle again. And fold forward, prasarita. Trying to keep the weight in the middle of the feet, using both inner and outer foot. Sometimes we forget because in this angle, we just use the inner leg. I want you to use all parts of the foot and leg. Good. And then come up more like a pranam. So your hands are under your shoulders. And then heel, toe. Bring your feet back towards each other till they're hip distance. And then come all the way up to standing. Stretch your arms up. And bring hands to heart center. Good. Please turn back towards the front of your mats and grab your blocks and bring them to the outside of your feet. And then come on up to standing. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Pranam. And fold. Step your left foot back to deep lunge. And I want you to really feel stable here. So lift the left heel a little bit higher. Come up more on your fingertips so you feel grounded in both feet. Square up the hips, square up the shoulders, and then maybe bring your hands on your thigh to come up and come to crescent warrior. Now, if you don't feel stable here, feel free to lower your back knee. Stretch your arms up. Grab your left wrist with your right hand and just go super slow because it's hard to keep the hips square as you arc to the right slightly. Good. Stretch back up and touch down. Nice. Step back, downward facing dog. And just set your blocks off to the side for a moment. You can come to your hands safely on the mat. And then we'll do a little vinyasa. So inhale to plank. Exhale to the mat. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, lower down. Push back so you can find the block under your hand and come to downward facing dog. Extend the left leg and step it to the inside of the left block. Deep lunge. Good job. Round the back foot down. Oh, I forgot where we were. Turn the heel up. Keep the hips square, the shoulders square. Slowly make your way up, crescent warrior. Extend the arms. Grab the right wrist with the left hand. Keep the hips square, the left hip crease back. Shoulders square as you arc. And come on back up. And touch down. Well done. Step back. Downward facing dog. Extend the right leg and step it through. Deep lunge. This time, ground the foot down. Keep your hand on the block. So feel like your arm and your leg are kind of working together. Left hand to the hip. Come to Parsvakonasana again. A little deeper stretch this time. Really nice, you guys. Stretch the arm by the ear. And arc towards the floor even more. If you want to feel more stretch, you can even touch the ground. Keep your shoulders square to the side wall. Good. Nice, you guys. And then reach your left hand forward and touch the block. And then turn the right or the left heel up. And this time a big step forward, forward fold. Inhale to a pranam. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. And let's keep going. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold. Pranam. And fold. Step your right foot back to deep lunge. Ground the back foot down. Now your left arm, you draw the left hip under a little bit, right hand to the hip. Yeah, there you go. Slowly make your way. Parsvakonasana. You can feel broadening of the clavicles, shoulder blades on the back, arm by the ear. Then you can arc a little bit. Yeah. And slowly reach forward with that right hand, touch the block, and step back. Downward facing dog. Lower to your knees for a minute. And I'm going to give you an option. We're going to a side plank. So if you want to do it with the blocks, I recommend the lower height. It's a little easier on the blocks because you're a little higher, or you can do it without them, your choice. I'm doing it without today. So just kind of check your hand position. And then come up to downward dog. I'm going to have you do it two ways. So step your right foot forward just a little bit, like a foot. Swivel both heels to the left. And then your left hand should be in front of your left shoulder. Bring your right hand to your hip. Come all the way down to your heel. There you go. Good. Yeah. And then see if you can find shoulder blades on the back. Extend the arm. Oh, nice, you guys. Arm by the ear if that feels good. Palm facing down. And then press into that right foot a lot so you can get your hips a little higher and arc towards the floor. Nice, you guys. Yeah, and come on down. Downward facing dog. Breathe. I'm going to give you a choice here. You can take child's pose or you can do a vinyasa with me. So if you're doing vinyasa, plank, the mat, cobra, back down, downward facing dog. Now just slightly step your left foot forward. I don't know, foot or foot and a half. Swivel both heels to the right this time. Left hand to the hip. Press into that left foot to get that arc going on the side body. Keep the right armpit lifting, hollowed out, if you will. That's it. Good. And come on down. Downward dog. And then go ahead and take a child's pose. And breathe. Yoga always helps me blow the dust off or the cloak. Because you're just so focused. Remember who you are. We're all in this together. We're all connected. And then come on up to downward facing dog again. I'm going to give you one more variation on this side plank. So spread the fingers wide. Feel really connected. Shoulder blades on the back, but your clavicles broadening. Your shoulders have to be really strong. Now swivel both heels all the way to the right. So the left foot inner edge and right foot outer edge. And then see if you can make your way to side plank here. Yeah. That's it. Both legs all the way straight. That's it, Chris. Good. And then if you want to try the arc thing, you can. You don't have to if this is a challenge enough. Good. And come on back down. Oh, downward facing dog. We're going to go right into the other side. Swivel both heels to the left. Get strong on your feet. Right hand. Broaden the clavicles. Shoulder blades on the back. Arm by the ear. And then maybe arc. Breathe. Good. Come on down. And take child's pose once again. Hands under forehead. Turning inward. Noticing your breath, noticing your heartbeat. And then come on up to transition to your back, but I want you to have one block handy by your side. So feet underneath and come on down to your backs. Take a moment there. You guys got me all sweaty. And just find shoulder blades kind of lifting and making a little shelf for your heart. You're going to press into your feet and lift your hips up enough that you can slide the block underneath your sacrum. And I want you to either have it at the lowest height or you can do it the middle height so that you feel really supported by it, and then come back down. Just enjoy a little heart lift here. You'll know that it's in the right place if you can lift a knee and it still feels good. Maybe both knees if it feels good. Just decide. Feel the nice long side body. So from your hips to your armpits here, just notice how much space you created. Little heart lift. And then press in your feet to lift high enough that you can slide that block out again. And come down to with your hips. And then just bring the soles of your feet together. Let your knees open for butterfly. I like to bring my hands on my belly. I can just feel myself breathing. But you do put your hands wherever you'd like. More breath. And slowly bring your knees up together and hug them into your chest. Roll up into a little ball if you want. Bring your nose to your knees. And then lay your head and shoulders back down and just kind of rock side to side. Massage your low back area. And then grab your kneecap. You're special because you have titanium, Chris. That's not fair. And and then slowly push your kneecaps away from you until you feel like you have that curve in your low back again. Your feet just dangle there. You can hold them, just the knees and little weight down, pressing the femur into the socket. And then again, just roll side to side, just kind of massaging your sacrum, your bum. And releasing the feet to the floor. Stretch out for Shavasana. Whatever position works best for you so that you can relax completely. Just do a little bit of a body scan. Releasing any tension you find. Every exhale, a new opportunity to feel more connected to the floor, more relaxation. And just notice that as you exhale, you can relax deeper and deeper. You continue to relax in Shavasana. I just wanted to share a reading from my favorite book, A Year of Miracles by Marianne Williamson. Just as a flower bends toward the sun, I bend toward the lure of spirit. In my heart, I am restless, for I know I am called to the greatness of my true being. Let me not tarry in my weaker places. I am given otherworldly help today as I reach for what is possible. Angels herald my birth into the glory of who I really am. A mere nod in their direction, the slightest invitation for spirit to enter, and my mind becomes a touchstone for the thoughts that take me there. Turning your attention to the miracle of your breath, moving in and out. Prana, as ancient yogis call it. Allow it to be an energizing breath. Begin to feel your limbs actually move again. So wiggling small ways with fingers, toes, ankles, wrists. When you're ready to transition more, just draw your knees in, roll to the side, push on up to seated. Just take your time. Ready, bring hands to heart center. Thank you all for bending and stretching with me today. Appreciate it. Namaste. Thanks, you guys. Good. You bet. Good.